Hello and welcome to Nerds and Stuff. My name is Martin, and welcome back to our Urban Shadows campaign, Friends Like These. Before we get back into it, I'm going to remind everyone that we are adults using adult language and yelling at each other once in a while and making each other real sad. But we hugged it out in between sessions, so we're ready to go. But before we get back into the drama that is Junior's new life every Friday night, we're going to go ahead and introduce our characters.
Hi, I'm Sterling. I'm playing Calvin Miles, the wizard.
He's a meanie.
I'm Daniel. I'm playing Oliver Silver, who can't do anything.
Yep, he's at the kids' table.
And I don't know who I am anymore. I'm Jake Gordon Jr. My name.
Jake Gordon Jr.?
Swap that.
Yeah, I'm Junior playing Jake Gordon.
For a second I was like, oh, your dad's name is Jake. Yeah. Jake Gordon is just here for the price of admission. He is just here to watch the action unfold. Alright, I am your master of ceremonies and guy who often argues with every player for no reason whatsoever. So let's get back to the Urban Shadows campaign. So it's Monday. Thank God the weekend's over.
It's Monday.
Yeah, and like at this point, Calvin doesn't mind Mondays so much because it means that people understand they can't ask him for favors as much as on the weekends. So if anything, Calvin looks forward to Mondays the most. We're gonna open the camera. So Jake works all day Monday. He probably works like a pretty long shift, either 6 or either 8 or 10 hours. Probably doesn't get off work until like 6 p.m., right?
Yeah, later in the evening.
Yeah. You probably texted Sarah to let her know that you're going to be busy tonight.
Yeah.
No response. No response whatsoever. I know you and Calvin had plans to link up later and go meet up with someone potentially powerful and or dangerous. What was Oliver's the rest of his night like, right? Last time we saw him, he was leaving the nightclub very mad after an exchange with Pablo, which was a result of an exchange with Leold, right? What's going on with Oliver?
Oliver is not having a good time.
Yeah.
Oliver wants to be having a good time. Oliver likes having a good time. So I think the rest of his night was trying to track down a willing victim.
Fair enough.
I still have all this darkness that's just been accumulating, and unfortunately with that kind of stuff, if I don't let it out, it bottles and gets buried back.
It's either angry masturbate or drain someone of their blood. Classic Sunday night dilemma.
And if you're really lucky, you can do both at once.
All right, so that was Oliver's night.
Right.
Calvin, you slept at your office.
Yeah.
And to basically ensure your job. We just invite Junior. We invite him for the lulz. All right, so Calvin slept in his office. Tell us a little bit about Calvin's Monday.
So, for the most part, like the day or whatever, Calvin ended up actually sleeping in the classroom. He has the first class in his lecture hall. And he did, write a sign up on the board that was wake up plus 5 points.
Yep.
I can see it just being one of those that's got the big demonstration table in the front. And so they come in the morning and he's just splayed out on it like a corpse.
Just like a dead body. He's upside down planking on the table.
And then, he knows he has to be here because of the dean probably is going to check in on him at some point through the day.
Yep.
So he he put a movie on, something from the History Channel. Welcome to college. He's a history teacher, so he put a little documentary on and was awesome, thanks.
The poor kids who pay for your education.
He woke up, pressed play on the DVD player, and then went back to sleep on the table in front.
His
Calvin has no shame.
His review my teacher thing, hot or not thing, is anyone that's just taking history class for a free pass loves it.
Yeah.
anybody who's wanting to be a history major, like, reports him for, like, problems.
Oh yeah.
He never gets any chili peppers, though.
Yep. So nobody, because that's a hot joke, right? Yeah. So let's just kind of start with the scene of you and the dean.
Okay.
Now, we haven't established the dean as a character yet.
Right.
So let's go ahead and make him a character. We have established
He's
that he
aware
is not a
and-
wizard, but he is aware of the supernatural. Oh, he's part of the
He's
council
part of the
aware.
council,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he is aware. Let's see if we have.
Restoration group.
We don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any other awares that he could be. So let's go ahead and make up a new character.
What
That
a normal
poor
Dean
fucker.
Johnson.
Dean Johnson. Yep. All right, he's aware, and I'm just gonna put parentheses Dean. Perfect.
I just
All right.
see him looking exactly like the principal from Back to the Future.
It's been a long time
Yeah.
since I watched that movie. But Back to the Future principal, Roger that. Okay.
Sorry, Internet, for disappointing you that I haven't
That's
watched that
okay.
in a long time.
Listen, we're too busy yelling at each other and playing role-playing games to know pop culture references. Okay, so end of class, right? Everybody's kind of like hanging out, and the dean comes up. He says, he walks up and he says, "Really, Calvin? More Mongolian horde documentaries?"
Well, sorry if you don't like it, but I kind of had a busy night, as I'm sure you know.
The problem is, Calvin, that these students are paying the university for knowledge trapped within your head and within the books that you made them buy just to watch documentaries made by the Discovery Channel.
I made them buy books. I need to update my syllabus.
Oh, Calvin. Professor Miles. Please, just... You seem very disconnected as of late. I need you to focus. This is your job. This is why we pay you. Not copious amounts of money, but more money than nothing is what you'll get if you keep showing documentaries.
Roger that, sir. Heard loud and clear.
Now, if we can change the subject, Calvin, I know that you met with one of my friends and an associate of yours.
Susan.
Yes, Susan. He kind of looks around. No students. Yes, Susan. I know that we're asking a lot of you, and you seem to have quite a bit on your plate, but I don't understand why.
Yeah, about that. She asked me to try and help some of the other factions work out calming the Mormons down.
I'm going to speak. We don't have to. She told me about that. There's no Mormons involved unless they're hunters themselves. But listen, here is the problem. Hunters are going about a very poor way of recruiting new people. They're not vetting. They're just screaming on the corners and posting in the newspapers and on the news and the media and blogging about the perils of New Salem, the dark underbelly. The problem is that a lot of crack jobs are starting to put 2 and 2 or 3 and 3 or 4 and 4 together and starting to ask questions that don't need to be asked. Questions that lead answers to come to the surface that cause a lot of problems for New Salem. In the world scope or in the national news, we start to get a lot of questions, and that is my job to prevent those questions from happening. Now, we do have wizards going around trying to scrub this idea out of the media, using whatever techniques or magic or tricks to shape the story, so to speak. The problem is that the hunters are still outpacing our efforts. I think that you have a lot of potential. Something that he's told you several times that drives you crazy. I think that you, when you apply yourself, can really get things done. We need someone that's not part of the council. Listen, the council can only do so much. We can place sanctions on factions, we can negotiate, but sometimes it takes muscle. And I know that you are a very talented wizard. That much I know about you. And that's why we keep you around for problems that require your services. It's sure not for your education techniques. He gestures up to the blank blue screen that says input.
It's like, yeah, I really don't know how I got this job.
Well, don't you actually know... well, that would have been years ago, so I was going to say... Yeah. So,
Susan told him.
Tenure is a wonderful thing.
tenure is a wonderful thing, yeah. So, you seem... from my understanding, you don't really know where to start. Is that a correct assumption, or...
A little bit, but it's not so much I don't know where to start as things are already down a bad path.
That's why we need you helping us more than ever.
Perhaps, and excuse my bluntness, I'm not saying this as your employee, I'm saying this as a concerned citizen of the city. Perhaps your council needs to do a little bit more. Because
I understand
the city is headed towards war.
I understand that.
Civil
That's
war.
why we're desperately trying, right? You're not as your employer. You are not the first wizard on our list to help us with this problem, okay? We reached out. I mean, hell, I even reached out to Aurora first. But she's nowhere to be found.
About that, actually, she's in bed with the wolves right now, pushing for war. That's one thing I do know.
We have had conflicted reports from Aurora. I wanted to reach out to her, but she's off the grid as far as we can tell. I understand that the city is in desperate times, but the council, the restoration group, we are not supernatural. We do not have power. Do you need a fucking coffee?
I'm dying.
We don't have power. Our power is our oversight of the city, our negotiation. Our negotiations are failing horribly. It is time for mobilization, and the hunters are taking that a little too strongly. If things aren't managed well, I'm afraid that there will not just be a war between the wolves and the vampires. The hunters seem to want to hunt everything, including wizards, from rumors. They see every supernatural creature, everything outside of the normal, everything that gets shot and doesn't die, to be unnatural, to be something that needs to be cleansed. And unfortunately, that comes down to you and some of your friends. We don't want to see that happen. New Salem does not want to see that happen. Could you imagine the anarchy if hunters took over all the territory? They wouldn't just restore the city to something like San Francisco or Portland or Seattle. This city would fall apart.
I get you, mate. And I'm gonna do what I can. I'm trying to get things back under control. I'm just saying it might not hurt to have a contingency plan in case, I die or something.
Calvin, Professor Miles, you are our contingency plans.
Well, we're all fucked then. And I think that's probably
Indeed.
a good place to call it a
Indeed,
scene.
yeah. With both of you mirroring terrified looks on each other's faces. Like, you're like, okay, just have a plan B. And they're like, oh dear God, you're plan D, sir. Yeah.
B's already dead.
Perfect. All right. So, Oliver's day. Do we want to touch on that? Because otherwise we can just skip to Jake and Calvin.
Yeah, in the afternoon, I'd actually like to have Artemis come by.
Deal. Yeah. All right. Tell us a little bit about Artemis, and give me a hint of what kind of voice I should try and make up.
Well, I can't help you with that part, but Artemis is my personal assistant.
Okay. How so? Because we know Robbie is an assistant, right?
Robbie is a ghoul. Okay.
I like the idea that maybe, if I may, Robbie is your vampire assistant, and whatever human is left of you, Artimus assists.
Sure.
Artimus
Robbie
handles
doesn't
the
do a whole
complex
lot,
tasks.
Well, because Artimus is your business assistant, right?
No, he's like my person.
Yeah, well, but he probably started with the business, and then he came over
Right,
from
yeah.
there. Yeah.
So Artemis is probably right now the one friend I have.
The one friend you have and can trust. Robbie's a good friend, but you can't trust Robbie.
I can't really talk to Robbie.
Sure you can.
It's
He's a social
it's just
butterfly.
Yes, master.
He's a social butterfly.
I
Him
can
and Jake,
order Robbie.
him and Jake are fast friends.
He knows pretty much everything there is to know about me.
Yep.
And I know pretty much everything there is to know about him. We have a very complicated relationship.
Okay.
I really care deeply for him,
Okay.
to the point where I often consider turning him.
Into a vampire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we could be together for hopefully forever.
Eternity.
But I have this big inner conflict because what I live is hell.
Being vampire kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of overrated.
Like, you have to almost murder people to live.
Yeah,
And you
that's-
can't go outside and play soccer.
And that's just
Yeah.
the norm.
Yep. No soccer.
No early morning squash matches.
Exactly. So uncivilized. Junior's... He just has his pen in his hand like he's gonna write down notes or something. Like,
I'm trying to
Oh,
focus.
Artemis, yeah.
you just look at his campaign notes and it just says fuck. Okay, yeah. All right.
So Artemis pretty much represents me in the company.
Okay.
Like he's that level such that I'm able to step away and not go out during the sun.
Yeah.
And
So he's definitely a proxy vote for
Yeah.
you and all that stuff. Okay. Are you meeting at your apartment, your haven?
yeah, so he normally lets me sleep in the mornings,
Okay.
and then we'll come by in the afternoons for socialization and catching up. and
Briefings, stuff like that. Yep. Inform you of the stuff. Okay. Where is he from?
stuff. He's a native of the city.
Okay.
He's been here a long time. He's been working for me for about 10 years now.
Okay. What does he look like? What does the camera see?
He's very scrawny, kind of like me, a little bit taller. He has brown hair and glasses.
Okay.
Kind of a freckled face, a little bit. So he looks like he's in his mid 30s.
Okay.
So he looks quite a bit older than me, but isn't like everybody else. And he's kind of at the point where in the professional setting, someone in his standing would either be like starting their own business or their own large corporation or taking over as like a direct CEO.
Okay.
So he's
He's well organized. Perfect. All right. I think we're ready to start the scene.
Okay.
If you are. Okay. So this is in your haven.
yeah,
Okay.
he'll be down there.
Okay. So So there's he probably just has he probably just enters, right? He
Yeah.
doesn't have like a knock or anything. He has his own key.
He
And you
can
guys are
do it.
steady enough to have it. Yeah. So he's Ollie, are you here?
Oh, Artemis, it's so good to hear your voice.
It's been a while, a couple days. How have you been? I kind of like the idea too that like on the weekends you just kind of leave each other be, because distance can make the heart grow fonder, or because you like him, but like are you guys lovers, or do you just have feelings for him?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, but I kind of like that, going back to the thing where over the weekend, you guys just kind of give each other time and space. He knows the kind of things that you have to do from time to time, and while he doesn't like it, he deals with it, and for him, sometimes ignorance is bliss of the vampire aspect of you.
The fake ones are gone. They've been taken care of.
Yeah, especially after you found out like there's a hit squad looking for you. Just like, I'm just gonna get rid of the evidence just in case. Yeah.
Well, by the time I came back with that news, my crew had taken care of it.
And then they had the runs all over the yard.
Fey runs.
Yeah. Oh, Fey runs. Also known as Fey run.
There's the joke.
There's the D&D joke. All right, so returning back.
So I'm sitting in one of my armchairs in front of my...
Yeah, so he comes in with his... Oh, sorry, continue.
Kind of in front of my... Like the wall of memory. Looking back on...
Like souvenirs and stuff like that. Yeah. So he comes in, he has his briefcase, he kind of sets it down on a table, he opens it up, he starts pulling out documents, and he's kind of getting ready to... He's getting ready to brief you for the day, and he's just making light talk until... how was your weekend?
Oh, Hardy, it was terrible. So terrible.
Did you not get to go to the club like you were planning on Friday?
I was out on Friday, yes. I had some problems. Ran into some trouble. Trouble's been the word of the weekend. I'm afraid.
The trouble at the club was on Saturday, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it boiled over on Saturday, but the start of my problems began on Friday.
Oh dear, you... Wow. I had a pretty light weekend. I went shopping. I hung out with one of my old college friends and obviously put in a couple hours. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Are you in the right state to do so?
There's like a half-empty bottle of wine next to me. I was like, just come and have a seat. Have a glass.
Yes, of course. Is this the...
This is wine.
Okay, I was like, is this the wine that's blood? But
no.
Okay, yeah. So
I have my blood supply, and
so
I also keep plenty.
He respectfully declines. As much as you offer, until he's get his business done. It's mid-afternoon on a Monday. Mm-hmm. I must respectfully decline, Oliver.
Oh, fair enough.
You certainly did have a rough weekend, I can tell.
Well, you know how I get. I'm dredging up a lot of memories this weekend.
Did you have trouble controlling your urges?
Of a sort.
Do you need to feed?
No, I'm fine. Was able to take care of that. No concerns.
You know that if you need to feed, you can call me.
I just smiled at him. Just like, already, I know.
And like going back, I think that's kind of how you fell in love with him in the first place, is like you fed on him. And because you get to learn secrets when you feed on people, and when you started to learn about him, you started to become infatuated with him and stuff like that. So, as I was saying, if you don't mind to get down to business, I just wanted to go through some of these the board announcements, and you seem distracted. We can talk about these some other time. What is going on, Oliver?
Why don't we just leave? I've got enough money. We don't need to stay in the business. We'll just go. Somewhere nice.
When I first met you, one of the things you wouldn't shut up about was your legacy. If you leave now, what of your legacy?
What of my legacy? Artimus, I'm a monster. The legacy I leave behind is a trail of corpses.
A legacy of ash, perhaps. Welcome back, Junior. Good to have you.
Let's just go somewhere. Northern Europe. The sun doesn't come out for half the year. We could go anywhere.
And we would grow bored quickly. You are too ambitious to just disappear and do nothing. Oliver, a bad weekend is a bad weekend. Just don't let it ruin what you have. You know, every couple weeks you get on this bend about wanting to leave New Salem. This is my home. This is all I've ever known.
Artemis, there's so much out there. You know I've been around.
I know. It's not that I don't want to see the world one day. We go on vacations often. I still have family here.
It must be nice to have family. Sometimes I miss it.
I'm sorry for bringing it up.
No, it's not you. Some of my friends have disappeared this weekend. You remember Scarlett?
Vaguely.
She's in some kind of trouble.
Isn't she always in trouble?
This is a worse kind. And it seems like every time I try and help, I just make things worse. Like there's just nothing I can do.
Oliver, you're overreacting. You know you get worked up and you get tunnel vision.
I suppose that's why I have you. Help ground me, bring me back. Right, business. Business.
Scene. Okay. Cutting to you guys. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you just got off work.
Yep.
He probably already hit you up when you got done with all your test grading and whatever it is, mysterious professor thing. No, sleeping.
Everyone gets a B minus.
Yeah. Everybody gets a B minus.
He has these huge office hours posted.
Except for Janessa, she has big titties. She gets a B plus. You dirty old man. No.
He always has his office hours posted, and they're always a door locked. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm in my office for 10 hours a day. Why don't you guys come by if you have questions?" And
yeah. The smash cut to him just pooping, asleep in the stall. Yeah.
He's got to catch up on sleep somewhere, man.
Somewhere.
on the shitter at work.
Yeah.
You get paid.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that do that. Speaking from actual experience, not me sleeping in the stall, but I.
Sometimes you walk into a bathroom and hear a snore.
And not a sploosh. All right, moving right along. All right, so he probably sent you a text.
Yep.
So you just got off work. You all day. You kind of remember him calling you at 1 fucking a.m.
Which is nothing because we've been out till 4 every day.
But it's a Sunday night, man. But you kind of forgot that this was even going to happen, and so you're getting ready, you. Sometimes my natural inclination is just to fuck you, okay? Just to pull down my pants and shit on your guy. Because I was you probably even made plans with Sarah, taking Anna to the zoo.
God, give him a break. You can only take so much.
That's why my first reaction is no. Jake needs a break. Calvin, not really. I'm gonna poop on you all campaign, brother. It's that dirty hoodie you're wearing. It just looks like it needs to be pooped on. By the way, you at home, it smells as bad as it looks.
It's brand new.
That's right. We're all
That's why there's you. Thank God it's not a smell-o-vision. There's an empty chair here. There's a
island of
potpourri down here. There's a candle. All right. You vaguely remember Calvin hitting you up last night to meet with Aurora.
I'm assuming he probably texts a lot, being "Hey, what?"
He probably just texted you late afternoon.
Between his 3-hour naps.
Yeah. He woke up when someone flushed.
Calvin!
He's I better get this up real quick. Send. All right. So, what's the plans? All right, you guys are linking up.
I'm gonna have him come and pick me up, and then we're gonna go and get Jess's car.
Okay.
And he's gonna follow me back, and then we'll discuss the plans.
Yeah. So we can just skip to that.
So.
Yeah. Jess's car is back at Jess's house?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is now.
All right.
Because I was supposed to do that Monday, and I can be a good dad sometimes. I almost forgot to
I'm about to bring the force die out to roll these hard decisions.
Am I a good dad?
Double black.
Nope.
All right. So get back in the car with Jake, and
yeah. So you guys don't know where to go.
Yeah.
You have a contact, possibly more, I really don't know if you and Trent want to talk anytime soon. I don't know if Sterling and Martin want Trent and Calvin to talk anytime soon. So you guys have leads, but no solid leads, right?
Right. So I have maybe like I have a number that used to be hers. I don't know if it's still hers or not.
8675309. Yep, still works. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just dial the number and see what happens.
Nothing happens. The user you have called's mailbox is not set up.
Okay.
Because this is a joke number.
No, it's real. My friend, I believe Brian or Cash, has a voicemail that is full or not set up or something like
I
that.
just meant 8675309.
Oh no, that's a number. You could probably call it and harass somebody, but please don't do that. That's
We don't condone that.
No, that's mean. That's mean. You should do it. Me and Sterling are terrible influences. No, okay, so you call it no voicemail box set up, right? Like you heard earlier, right? When he hangs up the phone.
Yep, nothing
working. You heard that she's off the grid from Corey.
Yes, that's right.
Dean Johnson.
Damn it, I'm gonna have to probably like track her down.
With magic.
So yeah, I have a spell called Track. I just need some sort of personal affect.
Yeah.
Let's say we go back to my apartment and go to my sanctum and see if I happen to
You just collect things
keep
from
something
your
of someone I
coworkers.
might need to find.
Yeah.
A spell component.
What if we hit the streets?
I'm actually just gonna dial the number that called me the day before. Call Vincent's.
Yeah, okay. That'll work.
See if I can
so as you guys are kind of hanging out.
dinking around.
Yep.
Whatever. I'm like, I'm pissed off at it.
No, I kind of like the idea. He gets out of the car, shuts the car door, sticks his sanctum key in your car door, opens the car door, and just disappears.
God, what do you see from your side?
No, because that wouldn't work from your side, so he does that to the trunk, and he like gets in the trunk and shuts it. That's a funnier shot.
You like pull down the seat to see where he went, and it's just empty trunk.
Yeah. All right, so you call Vincenz, and you get his secretary.
Okay. Hi. I'm looking.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good. Good. I'm looking for Vincent's.
He's just about to get out of a meeting. May I ask who's calling?
This is Jake.
Jake.
I wasn't gonna say it. I'm sorry. Jake Gordon.
Jake Gordon. Yes. Actually, he has you on a list to forward directly to his cell phone. Hold, please.
Okay, thank you.
You wait maybe 30 seconds, and then Vincenz picks up. Jake, hello.
Hey, Vincenzo. Sorry to bother you. Just wanted to let you know that the number I had for Aurora is no longer in service or doesn't work. I need to see if, what's the best way to reach her.
Jake, you know what I like about you? You're a man of action. I will, let me think for a moment. If I know Aurora on a Monday afternoon, she's probably gambling on Easy Street. I believe that her guilty pleasure is a ridiculous casino known as the Barge Right Inn. You might find her there. If you don't, please give me a call and I'll actually see if I can't track her down myself.
Okay.
And send you her way.
Alright, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Let me know if you need anything, Jake.
Alright, I will do.
Click.
Then I'll just kind of hang out until he comes out of the trunk.
You can drive, like...
Oh, I guess
not in the trunk.
Alright, I'm gonna
true.
Yeah, he's like in the sanctum looking for anything of her personal effects.
Yeah, you don't have like an 11-room big trunk.
Yeah, hey, you never know.
Yeah. Just big enough to put your bike in it.
So I'm just gonna go drive to Easy Street, find a little area.
Yeah, so Easy Street is definitely a bumping street, right?
At some part during the drive, like I open the trunk, and it's like, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, well, just,
nope.
Yeah, just you send Jake a text. You're like, well, just let me know when we get there.
beep, no service, and I'm like, damn it, open it up, send again.
You're sending a text with your hand out. There's cars behind you. Yes, I'd like to report a kidnapping. All right, so Easy Street, right?
Easy Street.
It's a several lane street. On one side, there's casinos, nightclubs, bars. In fact, nearby is the Vibe, right? There's a couple bars, even some hole in the walls that some of the retired cops or PIs go to. On the left is Heritage Park, this massive, sprawling, gorgeous greenery set right smack dab in the middle of the city. Easy Street is this perfect mix of scum and villainy and the natural world, right? And so you pull up to the casino, and you have to get valet to drive your clunker.
I was gonna see if I can find a parking spot somewhere.
Yeah, you can drive around and find a parking spot. We'll just get to that. Yeah. All right.
Can't afford it.
So you guys pull up. Calvin gets out of the trunk. Cool. What do you guys do?
All right. So when are we meeting her?
We're gonna see if we can find her here. Vincent's told me that she might be in this casino.
Awesome. Great. And what was it exactly that you wanted me to talk to her? Because I've got my own plans, but I want to help you out as well. What do I need to do for you?
And do you guys have a history? Because you probably knew each other. We're wizards. You worked at the same university.
Yeah.
Is this after you and your wife got a divorce?
I believe it probably would be.
Did anything ever happen?
There probably was some relations.
That went terribly. I like that too, because we've already established that Calvin thinks she's fucking nuts. Right? Perfect.
I don't remember what it was. Just to have her help. What was I supposed to do with him?
So
Can't remember.
Aurora is key to
With the werewolves.
brokering.
Right.
Yeah, basically Vincenz knows that Aurora is involved with the wolves, and he's trying to see to it that her situation is resolved to Vincenz's benefit, right? Because he is having Aurora help him with the wolves, get the wolves on his side, or owe him a favor, essentially, is what you gathered from the meal in between bites of cheesecake. Yeah.
Okay.
Cream pie.
It's delicious. So just have to help Aurora with some dealings that she's doing to benefit Vincent's.
So
It's like 6 red flags for Kelvin's character.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
all right. So Vincenz is essentially wanting the wolves under his power. Is what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I gathered.
Now, one thing for you too, you might be going there, but just to make sure, for motivation and stuff like that, you're not aware of like Vincent's mayor run.
I don't know
things like that. Yeah, so it strikes you odd that both Aurora and Vincenz, 2 wizards who are very ambitious, are both aligning themselves with the wolves and stuff like that, especially after your conversation with Trent last night.
It's sparking in Calvin, like, there's definitely like bad stuff going on here, so he needs to play carefully with whatever he's doing right now.
Yeah.
With this, and I have no clue how to like get both things like working out.
I want my cake and to eat it. My name's Calvin, and sometimes I'm a good dad.
I'm either screwing over one guy or myself.
All right, so you guys,
Let's go. Yep.
you guys hit the club, or you guys hit the casino. You guys walk in. It's bumping for a Monday afternoon. It's like Treasure Island, Pirates of the Caribbean themed. It's called the Barge Right In, and the whole exterior is just kind of like nautical themed. It's almost like a ship, a barge of sorts. And so you guys come in, and there's like a waiter comes up to you, barely out of high school or still in high school. He has a name tag that says Kevin. Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
Do you need chips or a drink?
A little bit of both, sir.
Yes, of course. Let me show you to the cash exchange. And he kind of walks you over so you guys can get chips. What would you guys like to drink?
G&T.
Oh, okay. A GNT?
Gin and tonic, man.
Oh, I thought
How old
that,
are you? Are you allowed to
I
serve
thought that
alcohol?
was like a weightlifting thing.
Just bring it.
Okay, yeah.
Same.
Oh, okay, 2 G&Ts. Disappears. You guys cash in for some chips. You guys kind of go...
Just kinda look
set up
around,
to get a
yeah.
good scan, right? You guys are just kind of playing some slots or something while looking around, trying to get a feel for her or the place at least. He brings you back your drinks. Yeah, so let's... I don't know if there's a roll to just find someone, right? Actually, this is hitting the streets. This is absolutely hitting the streets. So I'm going to have one of you hit the streets and the other person lend a hand.
You can hit the streets, huh?
Alrighty.
I'll lend a hand.
So this is hitting the streets and you're rolling with power.
Power.
Now, point of clarification, he already has power mark.
I do too.
Okay.
That's why I was going to say him.
Doesn't make a difference then.
Alrighty.
Deal. That's a 10. Yeah, you don't even... So you... Unfortunately, gambling may be one of your vices, so you're looking around, but you're burning through chips a little faster than Jake is.
Yeah.
Jake is also a gambler, but he's also at this weird moment in his life where he cannot let vices outweigh his ambitions. So, hitting the streets on a 10... So, on a hit, they're available and have the stuff. And you didn't get 7 through 9, so it's just a strong hit for hitting the streets. You already have power marks, so you're good there. So she is absolutely here. She's at a craps table. She's killing it. She's having a great time. You guys see her.
I kind of imagine
she doesn't look like she's changed. She's aged a day.
I kind of imagine us just kind of like both stepping up on the either side of her at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
so
she doesn't even recognize, like realize we
yeah. So like
got there.
people are going crazy. That was really lackluster. I was expecting cheers. Hey, there we go. Everybody's celebrating. Hot shooter, hot shooter. She kind of grabs the dice and she stops. She goes, Calvin Miles.
Come on, love. Roll good for me. I need a new pair of shoes. A 9?
I don't know if
the
that's
rules
good.
of craps.
I've never played craps, unfortunately.
Toss again.
I think
I just know everyone at the table wins when someone wins.
Unfortunately, gambling is one of... I have a very addictive personality, so I don't gamble at all. I like the idea of it, but not the execution. So everybody cheers or boos or gambling resolves. She cashes out monies, right? My immersion. All right, so she's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And she kind of turns around and she turns and Kevin walks by and she goes, Love, would you cash these chips out for me? Oh, yes, ma'am. Disappears, right?
I don't know what you're doing giving him your chips. You're not going to get half of that money back, I bet.
Oh, Kevin knows me well. He's a bit familiar with how I do things. I'm quite the regular here.
I don't know if you should be proud of that.
Calvin, did you come here to harass me?
No,
Surely you could have looked me up on social media to do that.
No, I've got a couple of, I'm harassing you in a sense, but I came here as a,
Who are you?
Jake.
Yeah, Jake.
Jake. Yeah, Jake Gordon.
I'm sorry, am I supposed to know you?
Look, alright, I'm an embassy of Vincennes right now.
Go on.
And also, I'm an
She looks around, she goes, let's go find somewhere to sit. So she finds a very quiet, she gets into the casino into the campaign VIP section. No, so she finds a VIP lounge, sits down, she pulls out a cigarette on one of those elongated things to make her look extra fucking classy, right?
The asshole sticks.
Yeah. The I'm a classy bitch extension. Yeah. Yes, Vincennes, you were saying.
Yeah, he wanted us to do a little bit of dealings. As I understand it,
Like this. Yeah, this isn't a classy bitch. This is a dock worker, how he smoked it.
as I understand it, you're working with the wolves. And as he's like doing this, he's pulling out like his own cigarette to light up and smoke.
I have dealings with the wolves from time to time.
Well, from my understandings of this situation, they're making a bit of some plays, and you're involved in it.
She, so she says, yes, spoke to Trent last night. He told me that you and him exchanged words. You're going to do something?
Yeah, I want to
Figure her out? That's what I saw coming. Yeah. All right, roll with mind.
Okay.
Get ready. He's about to escape if this doesn't go well. Okay.
And leave you.
I got an 8. I got a 7.
Okay.
So I hold 2, or I hold 1
You
1.
hold 1.
But because we're the same faction, I get another one.
On a 7 through 9, they hold 1 on you as well. So on a hit, which you did, you hold 2.
Okay.
She holds 1 on you, but because you're the same faction, you get an additional question.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so you have 3. You have a hold of 3. Okay. All right, so what are your 3 questions, and I'll figure out my 1 question.
What is she hoping to get from working with the wolves?
Okay. I'll answer that right now. She, the wolves were attacked by the vampires. There's a little bit more going on here, but she is working with Vincennes to get a lot of different factions on their side for something powerful coming up. Mm-hmm. And we'll roleplay this a little bit, but essentially she is working with the wolves to get them to serve or be in Vincennes' favor for an upcoming power play.
Right.
So that is absolutely her intentions. She is using her station to help. And in her mind, the wolves were unjustly attacked, and she doesn't really care about that much, but this is a way to manipulate them, is to...
So after the alpha died, they saw it as an opportunity to
Exactly. They
make
swooped
a play.
in. These guys, from your understanding, have been planning stuff for a while, and the second the alpha died, she steps in as this caring, sort of feral wizard to step in and help them so they're not just alone. All right, next.
Okay. How could I put her in my debt?
That is a good question. In your debt, if you help with this situation, as Trent had offered, but you declined. That would hurt her drive right now is to see that the werewolves come out strong.
Okay.
And if you help with that, then she will be in your debt.
All right. And how can I get her to essentially work with the wolves to try and calm the tensions? I want her on my side trying to keep things from escalating and running over.
So that is her intention as well. She has more... there is more information that she's going to withhold from you.
Okay.
But her intention is to see that the vampires and werewolves don't start a war.
Okay.
And that is her primary concern. Because if she didn't step in, that's absolutely what happened. So you get a sense that capturing vampires is actually her idea as part of a political strategy to prevent a war.
Okay.
All right. My question for you is, how can I get your character to help the werewolves come out stronger than the vampires on this?
That one's really hard to answer. I guess it's going to be coming to a mutual agreement kind of a thing.
Deal.
As long as I understand that she will do all in her power to keep things from flowing, like bursting
Perfect.
at the seams.
Perfect.
I'm willing to help the wolves come out a little bit stronger.
Play this motherfucker. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Also, just on the side, she does know me. She owes me a debt.
Okay, but that could have been like forever ago too. Yeah, she's a wild
Or she's
wizard,
just
man.
playing it up because she doesn't
Yeah.
think you're significant.
I think she was just doing that more to piss off Calvin too. Because the second I did that, I saw Sterling like.
Okay.
Role-playing games where you learn to press your friends' buttons. All right, so we were figuring it out. I can't even remember what the dialogue was going, so we'll just do a cold start from somewhere.
Okay.
She says, Calvin, you were speaking with Trent last night. He was very upset after the conversation, I must tell you. I told him not to worry about it, that you probably had a bad go of things, perhaps at the Vibe lately.
You could probably say that, love. The city's getting into a dark place. And from what I'm seeing, things are looking like they're gonna burst at the seams.
They may appear that. There are people in very peculiar situations to be a beacon of light, to be hope for this dark city.
Right. But... Oh, fuck, I'm trying to, remember this information that I have.
Notes, no! Right, so you just, at the very least, just, gently mark the 3 questions that you asked to at least narrow it down a little
your
bit.
character to...
So there's debt.
What is your character hoping to, and debt.
Listen, from your conversation with Trent last night, I get that you want to remain an arbiter of sorts between the werewolves and the vampires. You have to understand the position the wolves are in right now. They were attacked. Now, I am trying my best to prevent them from retaliating. We have been very strategic in our dealings since the Alpha was killed.
By strategic, do you mean kidnapping innocent vampires?
Innocent is a mere subjective word in this case. While they might not have been the one that killed the Alpha, they have not gone without dirtying their hands in the past. These vampires are known werewolf killers. Now, they are still safe. They are bargaining chips for the upcoming negotiation that I plan to hold.
Fair enough. You realize that by abducting them, it's just filling this balloon with more water.
That is true, but it's also keeping the wolves at bay. As long as we hold these vampires, and trust me, it's taking almost all in my power to prevent them from killing the vampires. I can assure you that if the vampires make a move, which is what Trent is worried about, then the vampires we hold will not remain alive. This is a delicate situation, and frankly, I need your help navigating it. You are a man of wisdom, and perhaps Trent caught you at a bad time, or the ultimatum that he put you under. You have to understand these wolves. They have no patience as we do.
I'll tell you what. Let me help you. I've been sent here not only by Vincennes, but I'm also have been talked to by the New Salem Restoration Group.
Yes, of course. They worry so much.
The recent actions between the wolves and the vampires have set the hunters on edge, and the hunters are going about doing stupid stuff. Not only is the balance between the wolves and the vamps getting crazy, but the hunters are recruiting. They're preparing for a war as well.
Yes, the hunters are very ambitious all of a sudden. I worry that it might be part of a new leadership shakeup on their end as well.
Well, tell you what.
I'm making up lore.
Yeah.
I gotta write that down.
Tell you what. Tell Trent I'm here to help him. Things were bad last night, but I'm willing to help the wolves. But we got to do it smart. We can't go killing vampires. We can't go trying to start a civil war within the city.
Of course not. Are you familiar with Vincennes as a personal level, or merely just his reputation?
I try not to be familiar with him.
You judge so quickly. That's always been your problem, Calvin.
I'm not judging. I've got experience. I was like him as a kid. When I first discovered magic and started practicing it, I was exactly like him. But bad things happen when you mess with arts you can't control. Trust me.
He
I
does not walk
friends.
that line. He is naturally talented. He's one of the most powerful wizards at his age that I've ever seen. And this is not through the dark arts. This is through sheer attrition. He is a beacon that will change this city for the better. I know it to my spirit, Calvin. I have never been more sure of anything in my life.
If you say so, but I can almost guarantee the higher you rise like that, the harder you crash. Entire civilizations have been wiped off the
Surely-
map by people with power like him.
Surely he can't be worse than his competitor. A tainted running for mayor. A tainted running for mayor. You. I mean no offense. I could tell your type the second I met you.
No, what
You
type is that?
serve... You carry the look of someone with darkness behind your eyes. The strings, I can see the strings that he holds over you. Through my magic, I can see that you are a puppet. With Vincennes, you don't have to be that puppet. In fact, I think, Jake, you can be anything you want to be. I'm sure you're serving with your friend, Vincennes, for reasons of your humanity. With the tainted running against him as mayor, surely you feel the call of the darkness to support him, to gain station in your own faction. But by choosing to go with a wizard, the right man for the job, we can make a better city together. I know you're kind of talking with wizards. You have been very quiet.
Only time will tell what'll happen.
Yeah, well, surely it's not better than the alternative. A turd sandwich.
You
Sorry,
always,
it's a South Park reference.
you always fight with your demons.
Jake, you are witty. Listen, here is the way things are. A very important wolf was murdered. That is true. That is undeniable. We know it was the vampires. We do not know which vampire. We took who we took for two reasons. Insurances? Worst case scenario, but mostly to try and get information. Vampires are very stubborn. Trent is... He is a wise leader. He will be a wise leader for the pack. But feral justice demands the vampire responsible must be punished. He must be made an example of.
We need to go... I get what he wants, but we need to aim for the least bloodshed possible. I fear Trent, wise leader he may be, is barking up the wrong trees.
A life for a life is what the code demands.
I get that.
Even the aware have arbitrated in that fashion.
I'm aware, but we need to play it smart. We need to keep cool.
I think we are all in agreement. If you help me, I will be in your debt.
I'll help.
But I also know that through your dealings with Trent last night, I know that you want the most peaceful solution. But blood has been spilt, and unfortunately, the law of the pack requires at least one more drop to be shed. If you are fine with that, then I think we can progress together. But if you are so naive to understand that wolves do not deserve a death in their stead, instead of the alpha who has remained peaceful with the vampires for the last, decade? I mean, granted, there's always the minor excursions. the territory battles, the pissing contests. But this is their alpha. If they were to cut off the head of the wizard organization, perhaps we would not be talking about peaceful resolution. We would be in their stead. Is that acceptable?
That's acceptable. I've got one more question for you before we finish this.
I don't have time to date.
Scarlett. I need to know she's okay.
She is okay, I can assure you. She won't shut up, that one. She's very brash.
I've got a friend that's looking for her.
Many friends are looking for Scarlett. You must know, if you don't already, that Scarlett is one of the worst of them. The number of not only werewolves, but others that she has manipulated, destroyed, or outright murdered. I understand that you worry for your friend's sake, but...
Well...
Scarlett was the first one that we went looking for when the Alpha died. That was not by happenstance.
She was the first one we went looking for too, to try and find her. I imagine you're the reason we couldn't.
I knew the situation was quite delicate. I worried that someone like you might come looking. It's good seeing you, Calvin. Jake, thank you for bringing us together like this. I will let Vincennes know that you are a loyal friend. And that you are to be trusted. See?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We hope that you guys had a wonderful time. If you guys are so inspired and entertained by us, please check out our Patreon page. And if you feel inspired, please donate to keep what we're doing going and going strong. And we will see you again next week for more friends like these. Take care of each other out there.
I'm marking corruption.
You made a deal with the person of power.
That is true.
God, Calvin's gonna be out so quick.
I have one more before I mark a corruption thing.
Calvin, he's on the highway to hell.
One more corruption and I get a move.
Oh boy! Look at this new toy I've got. But it makes me feel bad every time I use it.
Much like your penis.